Plaid sofa time yet again, and the rubber gloves are on. This can't be good. Anyways, Thanksgiving is coming up, and already I'm seeing the jokey emails and the jokey Facebook posts and the jokey everything where folks are like, I hope my Thanksgiving dinner stays off my thighs. Well, if you're the kind of person who has a bit of a self-discipline problem around the holidays, and you tend to eat a little too much and pile on weight just in time for the new year, I hope the crap we're taking a look at today takes the edge off of your appetite. Because I've continued to dig around Dollar Tree and try some of the stuff they got there, and let's just get straight to what counts here. Now, as I've already mentioned, I've been digging around Dollar Tree trying out various stuff like Hanover soups, chowder, chunky beef vegetable, and chunky chicken noodle. These are pretty decent. Now, last time around when I made fun of the Dad's root beer, a certain someone by the name of Mr. Stoudman chimed in that some of these off-brands in these dollar stores around here are actually decent brands in other parts of the country. Like, I guess Dad's root beer is more popular out west and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if maybe some of the smaller companies out there, like, say, Hanover Foods in Pennsylvania, use dollar stores as a way to introduce their product to new markets without having to compete with shelf space-wise with, say, the Campbells and the Progressos and the other folks and things like that. Hanover Foods Corporation, Hanover, Pennsylvania. I actually did some reading on this company. They're actually a pretty big, yet though privately held company that manufactures things like soups and frozen vegetables and stuff. And I'm wondering, maybe are these folks more popular closer to their home area of the Mid-Atlantic region, and they're just in Dollar Tree stores so that people in other parts of the country can try their stuff without them having to, like I said, be on the share competing shelf space with the big, huge national brands that everybody knows. Anyways, these are all pretty decent and well worth anyone's dollar, so they're not the reason why I've got the rubber gloves. Hasta la vista, Hanover soup. No, siree, Bob. The reason why I have the rubber gloves is because, sadly, not everything that I found in the dollar store recently is like that Hanover soup. Some of it really is, questionable, to put it nicely. Like Southgate beef stew. Already, this should be raising big, huge red flags. Because it's beef stew. It contains beef, supposedly. Beef is kind of pricey. How in the world do you sell beef stew in a dollar store? We shall find out. Southgate beef stew. Looks like dog food with vegetables floating in it. Nutrition facts are bilingual, so this stuff can be sold all over the place. Estofado de res con producto de proteína. Sorry, those Univision announcers that sound like Sunday, Sunday, Sunday are kind of cool. Even though I don't have a clue how to speak any Spanish, so it was always fun sometimes to flip on these Spanish channels and listen to the type of announcers. Anyways, now, the more keen-eyed among you may have noticed what should be problem number one with this stew right here. Right on the very front of the can. Textured vegetable protein product added. What the heck is textured vegetable protein product? Well, a quick Google search of Southgate beef stew, if you Google search Southgate beef stew, in one of the first results is this blog entry from stupidevilbastard.com, which talks about textured vegetable protein product. Basically, textured vegetable protein product is, I can't believe it's not meat, as one of my friends in college used to call fake meat, filler meat, aka stuff that kinda tastes like meat that you don't make out of meat to save money. Hence, dollar store beef stew. Oh joy, so at least part of the so-called beef in this stuff is, I can't believe it's not meat. Oh joy. I wonder if it's vegan. Well, maybe it does contain some real meat and stuff like that. Anyways, any textured vegetable protein, whatever, thoughts that may be going through your head right now that are making your head churn, stuff like that, will probably, that are probably about to be dwarfed by the nutritional value of this dreck. Nutrition facts: 2 servings per container, so double all the values you see. Saturated fat, 10 grams, 50%. That's right, folks. This can, if you eat a can of this stuff, that's your saturated fat for the day. Not looking good. Let's see what we got for salt. Sodium, 1120 milligrams, 46%. If you eat this can, that's almost your day's salt right here. And I can imagine cash-strapped college students eating 2 of these at a time. This is not looking good, folks. Ingredients: water, beef. Okay, there is actual beef in here. Cool. Potatoes, carrots, textured vegetable protein product. Oh, it's high up the ingredient list. Not good. Blah, blah, blah. Food starch, tomato paste, salt, dehydrated, blobbity, paprika, black pepper, contains soy, blah, blah, blah. Produced by Southgate Foods in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeehaw! Already from the can. We are in for quite a treat here, aren't we? Let's get this thing open and get ready to microwave it. Yeah, remember that thing I said earlier about how this looks like dog food with vegetables floating in it? This is what we have to work with. Maybe dog food wasn't the term to use here. Anyways, your problems will begin when you open this can and get a load of that smell as you're trying to spoon this crap into a bowl or whatever you cook this type of stuff in. I don't know, maybe to evoke the whole Old West feel, there's this smell like a horse stable that hasn't been cleaned in a while that hits your nostrils as you're dumping this stuff out. It makes you wonder, what in the world have I gotten myself into? Are there any instructions on how to prepare this stuff whatsoever? No, just the ingredients and the nutrition facts in English and Spanish. I assume that's Spanish. Maybe it's Portuguese. I don't know. I don't know. We'll try 5 minutes in the microwave. If it's only lukewarm, a couple more. But I want to get this, I definitely want to thoroughly cook this stuff, whatever it is, before eating any of it. Back in a bit. Well, it's done, I think. Cooking this stuff is kind of like cooking popcorn. Eventually you start hearing all these kabooms and explosions from bits and pieces of the stew blowing up, hence the really messy bowl. Speaking of mess, here's what's left of the paper plate that I put over the top so it wouldn't explode all over my microwave. Yeah, cheap microwavable food stuff, whatever. Okay, well, the moment of truth has sadly arrived, so if I don't live to see another day because of this outrageously unhealthy textured vegetable protein product stuff, as I try and get in front of everything here, because I was off to the side stirring it. If I don't see another day, it's been nice knowing you all. Let's try some of this nonsense here. Actually, no. Let's not risk getting this crap on the carpet. Let me borrow this for a second. You can stare at the can. Southgate beef stew. A nice heaping mouthful of textured vegetable protein product in 3, 2, 1. Giant mouthful of grease. That's probably where all the saturated fat comes from. Anyways, where to begin? First, as is the case with most canned products, anything canned is usually nowhere near as good as the exact same stuff cooked fresh. So Dinty Moore beef stew, my usual preferred kind of beef stew, is nothing. It doesn't even come close to real beef stew that's prepared fresh and not sitting and isn't canned and stuff like that. This stuff This stuff, aka that stuff, is light years away from Dinty Moore. It tastes like beef stew, but it's just a giant mouthful of grease, really. Maybe that's why it exploded so much in the microwave. Yeah. This stuff is the kind of stuff that you dare someone to eat in college or something like that, but especially with the horrendous nutritional value, I highly recommend that you don't make this a part of your diet unless you're looking for the crappy dollar store soup equivalent of a Big Mac to eat every single day or something like that. The meat has a bit of a funny texture to it, probably because of the textured vegetable protein product, I'm guessing. It does somewhat sort of remind you of meat, but it does not have the same exact taste, or the same exact texture, I should say, as real beef. So if you want to prove to the world how brave you are in terms of eating weird stuff from the dollar store, or someone dared you to do this, or you got like a frat buddy or a friend in college that dared you to eat something really weird, and this stuff will do the trick. Southgate beef stew. And I'd use that term beef very, very loosely. But at least they put the nice little disclaimer on the front that the I can't believe it's not meat is in it. This is probably going to do some long-term damage, some serious damage to my health if I eat this more than once or twice, but let's finish the bowl, just to be a badass. I'm just going to wiggle the bowl a little just so you can see where the saturated fat comes from. Look at that. See that bunch of grease that's moving? That's a little bit away from the stew? Yeah, I think that's where the saturated fat comes from. Alright, let's quit putting it off and actually manage to eat the rest of this mouthful of grease. There! I did it! I guess I'm officially a badass now. Good riddance. So, I think I'm going to go lie down for a while now and then try to work off some of this fat that I just ate at the DC tonight. I probably should have done this on the weekend when I don't have to worry about it messing with my ability to get anything done at work, but one word of consolation, it's at least inspected by the USDA. And a word of lesser consolation, calories 330, calories from fat 200. Yep, this is the kind of food that one would want to eat on a dare. Darn creaky tripod. This is the kind of food you get someone to eat on a dare. I highly don't recommend trying to live off of this stuff. Although, despite the textured vegetable protein product, they do manage to pull off kind of a beef stew-ish taste once you get past the mouthful of grease. Okay, I'm not feeling too good, so I'm gonna go lie down for a while and never, ever, ever touch this crap ever again, or at least eat it. Till next time, maybe one of these days I'll be able to use this lap desk as a lap desk again. Till next time, this is MultimediaJay signing off. Bon appetit, and thanks for stopping by. And thank heaven for rubber gloves.